Hey, welcome back to another in the series of interviews with 2022 election candidates for state and local offices. Today, we are talking to Kristina Irwin. She is running for, I believe, state Senate district. Was it
24.
24? Okay, well, let's start off. Where is state Senate District 24?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. So District 24, it's been redistricted, as many have. And so now it includes all the way up towards Malibu, Calabasas. It includes Agora Hills, Westlake Village, down to basically Venice, Santa Monica, Hollywood, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. Then it goes down to the South Bay, so it hits all the beach cities, Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, and then it goes all the way down to Gardena, Lomita, Torrance, and it even goes down to Palos Verdes, Rancho Palos Verdes. It's huge.
Okay, it is huge. That's
Yes.
actually most of the Southern Los Angeles and part of the Ventura County coastline and interior areas.
Yeah.
I recall. A major population center, probably the most quintessential of the suburban population centers of Southern California. So quite the district. and quite the varied district, to tell you the truth, in terms of the balance of people and the views that are held within that territory. So and you're running for this office. Yeah. And so, a little bit of background on you. What actually caused you to want to take this on? Because I have I have a name for this district from way back that goes the beginning of the Gulf War, because as I recall, the first early drawings of this district were owned by at least at the congressional level, by Jane Harmon in terms of so a long time ago. So here you are coming in to try to represent this thing in the state Senate. So what makes you tick? Why'd you want to do this?
Well, I get asked that a lot. And the obvious reason is COVID. So when the schools shut down and we had the unconstitutional lockdowns, I actually got to see what my kids were learning. And I saw at that time, I believe they were maybe, my oldest one was in beginning of sixth grade. And I have 3 kids, so they vary in ages. And my youngest came up to me and said, "Hey, mommy, look what we're learning." I said, "What do you mean?" And so I thought nothing of it. So I looked, and on Schoology, they have this app called Brain Pop. It was Dr. Fauci on there, basically telling kids, don't listen to your parents, get the shot. It's not an ouchie if you listen to Dr. Fauci. And it had the BLM sign on there and talking about white suppression and, white supremacy and the whole groomers thing. It was atrocious. And I couldn't believe my kids were learning this. I said, what? So due to COVID, that's what happened. And then I decided, instead of just being on the sidelines complaining, that I'm going to do something about it. And the funny thing is that the crazy thing is I ran as a write-in candidate. My opponent has been sitting here 8 years, unopposed, unchallenged, by either a Democrat, a Republican, or independent. And so I went in as a write-in. Now, when I went to the elections office in Norwalk, I did the whole deed and I went in for, my petitions for the signatures. And I was about 5 signatures short. And I remember they called me and they said, "Hey, guess what? You're 5 signatures short in order to qualify on the ballot for the primaries in June." And I said, "That's okay. I'll go out, find 5 people, no problem." "Yeah, well, sorry, you're not going to make it back in time, the deadline." And I thought, what are they talking about? And literally the guy said to me, "I'll see you in 4 years." I thought, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So my only other option, instead of waiting, because I don't like to wait, I like to get results now and seeing what my kids were learning, how it was affecting them, my friends' kids, I decided to run as a write-in. And I received nearly 6,300 votes as a write-in candidate. Apparently, what I've been told, that is the most ever in the county of LA, if not the state, which is amazing. This means that people had to go write my name correctly, circle the little bubble, know who to vote for, and write my name down. Now I'm officially on the ballot in District 24.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Cinderella story, to tell you the
truth.
truth.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So, so really that core issue, and it comes up again and again, and I've
Mhm.
with people, but this uh parental rights and parental choice,
Yeah.
and the input into the education of of children is a major motivator for you. And how do you see that in terms of what you want to do in the California legislature?
Well, definitely, I want to, right now we unfortunately are ruled by the supermajority. So once I get in, things won't change overnight as much as I would like them to and other people. It starts, baby steps. The other side, the Democrats have been doing this for years. And I think the people are just waking up. We had no idea. So getting me in the state Senate seat is a good first step. Getting others like me, in Congress and state assembly, those are other great steps. Local school boards, city council. But right now, what I plan to do is veto these bad bills that my opponent has been pushing through and putting on Gavin Newsom's desk. Right now, we have AB 1797, which is adding the COVID jab onto the immunization schedule for kids. So because of horrible decisions like this and bad bills, it is my goal right now to go into the state legislature and, of course, write great bills that will represent, the parents and do well for the kids in our future. But right now, we need to stop these bad bills. And that's what I hope to do.
Okay. So would you count yourself as one of this growing phenomenon of anti-supermajority citizens that are taking up the I need to be in the legislature because we need better balance?
Yes. And the only quibble I have is I don't like to be labeled anti anything. I am pro we the people. I'm a pro freedom candidate. The founding fathers in their constitution, basically what they said to in the constitution, what they said to us, we the people, was we need term limits. We need people that are farmers, teachers, metal workers, whatever it may be, to represent that particular town and city and village at that time. And I think the way it's been going, that's why we have the supermajority. So yes, I am one of these people looking to break that mold and get back to the two-party system, get the parents involved, get the, grandparents involved. Basically, the people of the community. Right now, we have the elitists making decisions for us, and it's not working.
Yeah. Okay. So very interesting. Yeah, because I've noticed that is a very common thread of the election this year, particularly in California. There's
It is.
this bit of a groundswell, and I'm sure that as you talk around to other people, this movement that you hope to be part of, what kind of issues do you think you're going to wind up dealing with in Sacramento if you are elected? Because it's pretty big laundry list that goes far beyond just school choice.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have, the Gavin Newsom, our governor, has decided upon himself to end the state of emergency in February, which makes no sense. So right now they're doing everything, and what I see, they're doing everything that they can to control us. Like I mentioned, adding the COVID vaccine or the COVID jab, it's still under emergency use authority approval, over to pushing it to the kids' immunization schedule in order to be going to school. So of course, parental choice, parental rights, huge. Homelessness, they haven't done anything about that. The Democrats think, let's just throw more money. The homeless will magically, get a job, get better, integrate into society. It hasn't been working, and it won't work. We need fresh ideas. We need people that are actually on the ground, not live in their gated communities, that have limousines, that basically don't know what's going on day to day. And I have a plan for that. I mean, we have to talk about the drought. Where is the billions of dollars that we've spent? Nothing. There's nothing to show for it. Then there's the bullet train. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, strict on crime. I voted yes to recall Gascon and Newsom. My opponent voted no. Apparently, he thinks, this is a issue that is a one-sided issue for Republicans. It's not. Crime sees no color, no size, no party preference. We want quality of life. So there's a lot of things that I plan to do once I get to the legislature. And the first one is basically open door. I want to have an open door policy, transparency. We don't have that. People have lost faith in the government, in their local government, and elections. I want to bring that back to the people, where people can come talk to me, email me, give me their ideas, because maybe, in my district, maybe Malibu has something different, what's going on with them, than El Segundo. So it has to be an open table ready for communication and discussion.
Yeah. And yeah, I can see that Malibu and El Segundo do not think alike. Very astute of you to understand the territory.
Thank you.
Anyway, okay. So messages in terms of how you want to communicate with voters. You've probably seen yourself tapping into an undercurrent of uneasiness with the situation that is going on in California at the moment. How would you message that to people that are a bit on the complacent side? Because there's a number of them that are in this district that you're trying to be elected to represent.
Well, I've actually had a lot of people come up to me and say, what's the point? I mean, what's the point? The elections are rigged, or, so-and-so has no chance. You have no chance. They have no chance. Well, guess what? I'm your ray of sunshine. I actually made it as a write-in. That means 6,300 people had to know who I was through word of mouth, through the website, through research, through the endorsements, through the webpage, because to have that write-in as the biggest one that's ever happened in the county of LA, that's a huge deal. That tells you not only are parents upset, I mean, this goes beyond parental rights. We're talking about small business owners. We're talking about, the closing of these businesses. I've had personally 3 friends, just that I know, close their business, shut down because of the COVID mandates, because of the homeless defecating in front of their building where they can't get into the entrance, because of needles on the ground. I mean, this goes beyond Democrat, Republican at this point. This is about common sense. And I think people see that. And I think that's the message here.
Yeah. So you really think you've tapped into this quality of life issue that pervades across all political lines?
Well, we don't have that now. I mean, now you have to decide, do I go fill up my gas tank for $150, depending on the car, 100, 150, or do I go get groceries for my kids? Do I feed my children, or do I fill up my car tank and, my gas tank, and I take them to work? I take myself to work to be able to afford buying groceries. So it shouldn't be. I mean, we're America. This is 21st century. We should be able to do both. And yes, have that quality of life. We should be able to go to the park. You should be able to take your kids to the park and not have encampments of homelessness or fires. There was recently another fire in Pacific Palisades. I mean, yes, it comes to quality of life. It comes to safety. This is the American dream. This is everybody's dream. This is a right. This is a privilege. This is something we need. And we need to get back to reality, not having the elitists decide and dictate what they think is good for us.
Okay. Well, it's a very admirable position, actually. And it's refreshing. It's kind of like, it's the everyman goes to Sacramento message, really, when you think about it. So,
yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and an intriguing one, particularly for somebody that started as a write-in. So where do people go to find out more about your campaign?
They can go to my website, KristinaIrwin.com, Kristina, KristinaIrwin.com. And on there, it has all my contact information. If you want any more information, if you want to talk to me, reach out to me, volunteer. We're doing door knocking. There's yard signs. Let me know.
Well, very good. Well, I cannot thank you enough for spending a little bit of time with us. And a very refreshing and, quite, to tell you the truth, an energetic enthusiasm for going and trying to get something done. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My pleasure as well. Thank you.
All right.